Hey y'all, what's up? It's Brittany here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, coming to hang out with. Okay, so you probably just exited out. I probably have like nobody watching me anymore. Look, can y'all just ignore whatever situation I've got going on up on top of my head? Because my hair, it's frizzy AF. I hit the treadmill this morning, you know, being the good fitness girl that I am. Just kidding. I got on the treadmill this morning and so it's frizzy. But anyways, today's tutorial is gonna be on this spring colorful look you see here. I was looking through Pinterest and Instagram, looking for some inspo a little bit because I wanted to do something colorful and I wanted to use products that I already have, of course. I was like, pink. I don't think I've done anything pink. I've done like rose goldish or like cranberry, that's what it is. I've done like cranberry colors, but I hadn't done any pink. And since it's springtime coming up, I thought I'll do some pink this time. But I wanted to add some blue in there somehow. I know that there's a lot of blue floating around on the internet here lately with Mario and Kim doing their little collab that they've got going on. It's got some cobalt blue in there. And then I feel like it really started though when Mario did a look for Kourtney Kardashian. They were in Japan and he did like an all blue lid, and I swear I seen so many blue lids after that of people trying to recreate that and stuff, and I was like, I want to play, I want to do it. But I didn't want to do the exact same thing, of course. I will try a cobalt blue look, but I haven't tested anything out yet. I've got an idea. Cooking in my brain, cooking in my noodle. But I have yet to try it out. So I was like, I'll do like a springtime blue. And so I thought, why not do this really pretty blue from, it's more like a tropical blue to me. But hey, we do what we gotta do. We make do with what we've got. Cause we're frugal on this channel, okay? We are frugal. I don't know what that was. A little shit fit. Okay, so if you are still here with me and I haven't scared you away with all my freaking weirdness, I will show you how to throw some colors together, use some makeup brushes, and show you how I got this look right here. Let's get started. Without further ado, we'll get started. We'll get started, y'all. Okay, seriously, this time we'll get started. I already primed my eyes, got them ready for some eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this Jaclyn Hill palette right here. For the look I was going for, I wanted to keep it very colorful, something different. I was recently inspired by some things that I had seen on Instagram and Pinterest, so let's see how this turns out. First, I'm going to dip into this shade right here and lay that down as my transition shade. I'm just gonna stick that right here in the crease. This is turning out a little bit darker brown than the color actually is because I'm using a dirty brush, but it's okay, it'll still look fine. I'm going to softly blend those edges out with this brush after all that product has come off for the most part. Okay, next up I'm going to mix this brown right here along with this brown right here. And this one's got a little bit more of like a maroon type-ish undertone. So I'm going to take the same brush and very lightly, I'm going to start on the outer corner so it's the most intense pigmentation there, and I'm going to just windshield wiper that over towards the corner of my eye, the inner corner. And I'm just kind of being a little sloppy with this. I'm not putting it down in any specific area. I'm just kind of going over what we just laid down when we put down like our transition shade. And I'm gonna make sure that I bring this down, like that, towards the outer corner. Excuse the rude ass traffic on my road. Can turn your engines down, sir. Clean this brush off a little bit better than I did that last one so we can have even pigmentation. Okay, next up I want to take this shade right here, right next to that brown we just went down with, and I'm going to take that on that smaller Morphe blending brush that I usually use. And this is just better and easier to access our crease with. I'm just going to start, of course, on the outer corner. And I'm gonna really keep this more so in the crease instead of bringing that up as high as I did those other two colors. And I'm just gonna start blending after I put those down, just start blending those edges out and making sure that they're really good and transitioning well into those other colors. And now I want to go in with a more round blending brush, and this is from the BH Cosmetics. This is the number 6. I believe it's in the, what is this called? What I'm going to do is just softly go over those edges just to make sure that those edges are blended out really good, and I did not put any product on this whatsoever, just to kind of diffuse the edges right there somewhere. I had a swatch on my arm and then I didn't think about it and I just pressed up against my boob, so we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Okay. Okay, I need to cut my crease, so I'm going to squeeze out this little bitty. There we go. So I'm gonna squeeze out what's left of this Maybelline Master Conceal. I'm holding on to every last bit of it. And I'm gonna use this smaller concealer brush here, and I'm just gonna dip that into the concealer that I put on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna cut out my crease right here. I talked about in my last video how I tried following Nikki tutorials in my last video, and I talked about how she really got me out of my comfort zone, and I don't usually do cut creases, but I was inspired to do a cut crease today to just challenge myself and do it again, just totally different look, something I come up with. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to look up and smear this everywhere. I've always got to give myself 2 different eye shapes. The symmetry is just not here. I try so hard, can't get symmetry. Okay, and for our lid shade, I wanted to go in with something really like pinky and springtime-ish. I just have like these springtime vibes for this look, so I wanted to go in with a really shimmery pink shade. You mother... I should have known better than to do my makeup in a white shirt. I've done swatched my boob. So my sister calls me in the middle of the video, so I went ahead and done this eye and was just trying it out to see if I was gonna like that shade of pink, because the last shade I just did and had to redo this eyeball wasn't working for me. So instead of using this shade like I originally intended, because it was so pink, it like reflected more gold than I wanted it to, so I picked up this shade right here, and I'm using that same concealer brush that I used to carve out my crease, and keep forgetting, and I'm just gonna spray that with some setting spray right there and go in with this shade. And this is definitely much better. Even though it's not as pink, it's not reflecting as much gold as that other shade was. This is more like of a peachy pink. It's got more peach undertone going for it than that other shade. And then I took that smaller Morphe blending brush, the second one we went in with earlier, and I just took that darker maroonish shade that was next to that brown maroon shade that we went in with last, and just kind of packed that on the outer third of your eye, and I blended it in towards the inner corner just to blend those two colors together. We're gonna lay that down first, and then I kind of came over here in the crease like so. Just a little bit. I mean, we did carve out that crease, so you don't want to totally blend that line out. Okay, now for the very inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this light pink shade right here. This is a very light pink, and I'm not gonna spray my brush this time. I'm gonna go in and just put that on the inner corner so that that other shade is still visible, the first one we laid down. This will just brighten up that inner corner even more. There we go, just so it kind of like, you see how it kind of ombres? I'm digging that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face with the e.l.f. This is the Lit From Within face primer. It's a luminous matte primer is what the packaging said. Totally like oxymoronic, I feel like, but I really do like this primer, so we're gonna go in with that. Okay, and for foundation, I'm going to mix two shades together with the Maybelline. This is the Super Stay Full Coverage Maybelline New York. It's up to 24-hour foundation, and I'm gonna go in with shade Porcelain 110 and 128 Warm Nude. I'm just mixing these shades to try to get a better match to my actual shade, because 128 by itself is a little too dark for me, but I am going to use more of it than I do the 110 to kind of balance it out. And I'm going to take this flat top foundation brush is what I call it. I don't know if it's actually intended for foundation, but it's by BH Cosmetics. And I'm gonna blend that in this wood. I'm taking this all the way to my ears and under my chin, down my neck just a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of go over it with a beauty sponge just to make sure it blended seamlessly and I don't have any like brush strokes or anything like that. And I'm just going to use the same old Instant Age Rewind Eraser. This is Maybelline New York Concealer. I'm just going to go in with this concealer to conceal my under eyes. And as usual, I'm just going to go in with my Eco Tools buffing brush and blend that out. Really gonna kind of clean up the edges right here of my eyeshadow when I blend that out. And I'm gonna bring that down right here where my face was all blotchy earlier. I was picking. And now I'm gonna look up and blend with my Beauty Blender just to make sure that the edges are seamless and that's packed in really good to my under eye. So we don't want no creasing. I'm gonna kind of look up like so. And make sure you get this because, oh Lord honey, we do not want those lines drying like that. I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder and just dab that with a Beauty Blender in the lid. And I'm just gonna press that in right there. I'm not gonna like bake everything under my eyes, just kind of the corners where it tends to crease up. And then I'm gonna take this blush brush by e.l.f. here and dip that into some of the powder, and I'm gonna just push that into the rest of my under eye. And we'll let that powder that we just packed down in there sit for a little bit, and we'll come back and wipe it off. Now I'm gonna take my e.l.f. This is the finishing powder in the shade light medium. Looks like this right here. This is an e.l.f. all over face brush, and I'm going to take that and dip that into it and just lightly go over the rest of my face to kind of set my foundation and prep it for bronzer and contour, etc. So you don't have to contour doing this look. You could just bronze your face and warm it up just a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and contour with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And this is the light to medium. Can't find my shit, y'all. And I'm gonna take this smaller Morphe brush right here and just dip that in there pretty good. And I'm gonna kind of tap my arm a little bit and then go in right here under my cheekbone and lift up and contour like that. I forgot earlier, I'm gonna take that Fit Me Loose Fit Me powder and I'm gonna press that into the sides of my nose. This has got a little bit of a mixture of Makeup Revolution powder too. So if it's two-toned, that's why. And this is really good for people who are really oily in their T-zone. Bake really good right there on the sides of your nose, and it'll set your shit for you. And with that same contour shade, I'm gonna pick up this BH Cosmetics brush, taking that same shade from that Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and lightly gonna carve out my nose right here and just go down, giving me a pinched nose. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly rub it over that, just to make sure we've got it blended and not too harsh of a contour line. Tell all our secrets. Just gonna go over that contour with this brush that I used to contour my cheekbones earlier. I'm gonna kind of bring it up instead of down so we don't drag our contour down. And then I'm gonna go in with that e.l.f. blush brush right there and dust away all that baggage. Okay, and now we need to bronze. I literally had it in my hand and I set it down to look for it. Okay, and I'm using my e.l.f. This is the golden set right here in e.l.f. And I'm going to bronze up this face since we're doing like a springish. Wanna look like you have it sat in your house all winter. Even though, let's be real, most of us probably have. Like the cold. Like I can tolerate it and I don't mind it being a little cold to give it a break from summer, because summers down here are so freaking smoldering. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spray some setting spray to kind of set this and let all the powders just to my skin. So okay, I've already started on this under eye right here, so we're gonna finish up this one on this other side. I'm gonna go in with this brown shade right here, and I just kind of dusted that on the outer corner. Of course, start on the outer corner first because it's gonna be so much more pigmented there, and then drag a little bit, just a little bit, to the inner corner. And don't poke yourself in the eye. And that's gonna be our first layer. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit into that. Don't go too crazy with it. Just to add a little bit of that reddish brown color, whatever you call it. I've called it like 3 different things, I think. and this is an e.l.f. blending brush, by the way. I don't think I told y'all that. Okay, in this next step, we're gonna add just a little bit of color. Add some color into the bottom. So I'm gonna take this shade right here. I want to use a smaller blending brush. This is an e.l.f. crease brush. Very lightly, I'm gonna tap into that color and then kind of pat it on my arm again. Try to hug the lash line as much as we can. I wanted to add those browns earlier just to kind of give it some dimension and not leave it so bare. We can go in a little bit more. I wanted to start off easy at first because I didn't know exactly how these colors would blend together, how they would look. And I'm just gonna pick up that e.l.f. the blending brush from earlier that I put the first shades down with on our under eye, and just go over those edges and blend them together really good. And next, I'm going to take this smudger brush right here. This is the e.l.f. No, it's not e.l.f. It's Eco Tools brand. You take the shade, the shimmer shade right next to that green that we put down, and I'm going to go over top. And this will really intensify the blue. Okay, and I'm going to, with no additional product, keep blending out those edges. I'm going to take a flat edge liner brush like this one by e.l.f. Dip it in that same blue color. Stamp that as best as I can on my waterline. I think I'm gonna go all the way under. Let's go all the way under on our bottom lash line with this blue. For our inner corner and brow highlight, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm gonna take a concealer brush, a really small concealer brush, and bring that down. And for the under the brow highlight, I'm going to use this, just any kind of blending, soft blending brush. I don't want it to be too crazy because we've got a lot going on already. It's already a crazy pigmented highlight shade. Okay, now that we are done with that part, go ahead and spray your setting spray again, and then we'll add some highlight to our face. And while your face is still kind of wet from spraying your setting spray, I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild. This is the Mega Glow in the Precious Petals shade. I'm going to pick up this brush right here and just kind of generously pick that stuff up and apply that to the tops of my cheekbones. Let's go down the center. I'm doing this very light-handedly because it's such a big brush. Ideally, you would want to go in with like a really small brush and do that, like this one right here, just so you don't defeat the purpose of contouring your nose. Kind of dust that on the forehead right there, just a little bit. Just to add a little bit of shine to it. And then I'm gonna go over my lips. Curl your lashes. So for mascara today, I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline New York Total Temptation mascara. This is the newer one. It claims to give full and fluffy lashes. Yeah, this has a creamy whipped formula infused with coconut extract, and a new fluffy brush glides through lashes for non-stop buildability. It's kind of a hard word to say. It smells really good though. Okay, so for a lip color, oh, I'm really bad at picking lip colors, I feel like, to go with bolder looks like this, because I just want to be simple, throw on a nude lip, but I'm I'm gonna try to be a little different and not make the lip clash. So I'm gonna try to go in with this Wet n Wild. This is the Megalast Liquid Catsuit, and this is in the shade Nudist Peach. So we're gonna see how this looks. So I'm like not mad at this lip color. What do y'all think? Did I do good this time? Did I match it up good? It's like subtle, but it's got some color in there. Let's add some Too Faced Sugar on top and see how that goes. I don't think it looks bad over it. I don't know how I feel about this Megalast Liquid Catsuit by Wet n Wild. I don't know. I want it to work because it's a good price. It's cheap. But if it don't work, it don't work, you know? So this is it. Thank y'all so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed this springtime look. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about it. I, for one, am like totally digging these blue tones underneath. It's something so different than I usually do. And I'm really digging it. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked this video. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified every time that I upload. YouTube's actually changed this thing to where it doesn't recommend a video to you or put it in your sub box unless they think that you would want to watch it. So if you want to know every time I do upload, then hit that little bell so you'll get notified. Thank you so much for your support. I hope y'all have a great day wherever y'all are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Never mind the fact that I have smeared liquid lip that literally takes God himself to come down here and remove all over my white shirt. And I swatched my tit. Sometimes I'm just like not appropriate. The color combination isn't terrible, but it is cracked like an 80-year-old who's never moisturized. I got like a headache. Y'all, I have not drank Pepsi. I have not had a Diet Pepsi in like 2 days. I need Pepsi. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic. I got crusties in the corner of my mouth. That's so not cute. Ew. Y'all, I got these green eye boogers in the corner of my eye the whole time. Ew. What in the hell? La, 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 la. It's my shit.